काफी बड़ा परिवार है मेरा, यही संसार है मेरा। हर दिन मेरी कोशिश है इसे हरा भरा रखने की, कुछ कोशिश घर को मजबूत बनाने की, कुछ कोशिश घर को जीता जागता बनाने की, कुछ कोशिश बड़ों की सेवा की, कुछ कोशिश छोटों को बड़ा बनाने की, कुछ कोशिश नई दिशाएं दिखाने की, कुछ कोशिश उत्साह जगाने की। देश नाम है मेरे संसार का, इंडिया नाम है मेरे परिवार का, टाटा कोशिश जिम्मेदारी निभाने की।
Friends, put your hands together to welcome on stage Quizmaster Big Brain.
A big hello and a warm welcome to each and every one of you. You're with me, Big Brain, here today as we pick action at yet another of our Zonal Finals. Tata Crucible Campus Edition 2022. After traversing the length and breadth of this nation, identifying 22 champions from across this nation, we are today playing the Zonal Final from the northern interface of India. Well, it's one terrain where you get some really remarkable and illustrious institutions that take part, do well, and make it to the finals year on year. The students at these institutes are equally remarkable, given that many of them actually attract students nationally and they're not necessarily regional institutes. That makes the quality even better and the intensity of a final, therefore, at a knowledge fest like this. Well, much as we celebrate knowledge and celebrate these remarkable youngsters, it's also important to remember that they are in the nation's top 24. So they're all winners from the regions that they have represented. Among these 6 champions, one will go through directly to the national final, the other will qualify into a wild card, and from there 2 of them will qualify, which essentially is a battle between the 4 zonal runners-up. For now, of course, you know the way the terrain is, the way the battle is played. You've been following this season for a long time. 75 is the value, 5 seconds, the window of opportunity for them to answer each question. The plus and minus, of course, is based on whether they get it right or wrong. Time for us to take a look at our third zonal final to see who our 6 contenders are and where they come from before we start playing this playoff at Tata Crucible. As our first contender here today, representing the Delhi School of Economics from the capital of our country, it's Gokul. Welcome to you. Neighboring Gokul as our second contender here today from a very consistent performer institute at Tata Crucible, LNM IIT Jaipur. Representing them this year is Aditya. Welcome to you. Again, another consistent institute, this time getting the better of all the IIM Lucknow contenders, was Pradyumna, and he represents IIT Kanpur as one of the giant killers who really went past the IIMs to qualify here today. From the IIMs, keeping their flag flying high from Kashipur, representing the Indian Institute of Management, is Arsalan. Welcome to you. Moving across to the lone lady battling in this league here today with an outstanding victory from Gurgaon, representing the Great Lakes Institute of Management, welcome Sonali. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, from the lovely city of Chandigarh, qualifying from ISB Mohali, we have with us Saurabh. Those then are our 6 contenders, all 6 champions. One of them will go through to the final, one will go into the wild card. Time for us to start playing this game here today. And of course, life is about grit, guts and glory, with of course a little bit of shine. I'll come to you on that after the first round. We've got a little surprise for all of you. Well, it may not be a surprise if you follow every episode, but nonetheless, for the moment, from grits, guts and glory for all these 6 champions, it is time for them to find their grit. Here it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, all questions will appear on your screen for the first couple of rounds. Remember, we would have something more to offer you in terms of information only till the stage that you choose to press the buzzer. Because the moment you press the buzzer, you're telling us you know the answer. So we'll keep quiet the moment you press the buzzer. But for now, on the first frontier of this game, let's see how this final unfolds. Well, for the benefit of the 6 of you, we've had 2 IITs, one from Madras, one from Bombay, making it to the national final so far, though the IIT Bombay is actually the management division or the management institute, SJM SOM at Bombay. So Pradyumna's smile explains that. He immediately smiled when I said 2 IITs are in the final already, and he would fancy his chances as a rub of the green. But this terrain is completely different. I mean, this is super difficult. All the champions are almost equally capable in my view. I'm just setting the agenda as we get started with the first question in our big zonal from the northern terrain of India. On your screen, question 1. Here it is. Making the Elephant Dance is a book authored by Sunil Mithas. Which entity is this book about? Aditya from Jaipur has gone for it. Yes, Aditya.
This is a book about the Tata Group.
It's a book about the Tata Group, Making the Elephant Dance. Well, there's a very similar book about IBM as well. And it's a good crack. Aditya getting that absolutely right and scoring the first 75 from Jaipur. On to your second one on your screens now. This is an important campaign by a company which was formerly known as the lighting division of a great giant. They're working essentially on creating better economies of energy management with EcoLink. Which famous giant from Netherlands are we talking about? Pradyumna, go ahead.
You said Netherlands, so I'll go with Philips.
I said Netherlands, so he'll go with Philips. Good quizzer, clever answer. 75 to him. Beautiful. 75 on Signify. That's the campaign that they are running. And of course, when it comes to energy environment for us this time around, our energy and environment advocate here is Nexon. Everybody in the Tata Group takes it very seriously, but really leading that revolution with electric vehicles is Tata Nexon, and it is, like I've been saying, a fabulous experience, and I've been one happy customer. As we go to the next one, let's see what happens. 2 on 75. Third one on your screens now. This is an antiseptic hand sanitizer called Sip Hands. Which famous company? Aditya's gone for it. Yes, Aditya.
Cipla.
Well played. Oh, he kept it simple, kept it clever. Sip Hands is from Cipla. And that gives him another 75. On your screen, here's the next one now. This is a famous book. Pradyumna. Well, these two seem to be getting on a head-on-head fights. Yes?
This is about the Imami group because R.S. Agarwal and R.S. Goenka are the founders of Imami.
Extremely well played. The clue was not in the title. The Imami Way is the book. It's actually a very nice book. I can see quite a few B school students out there, so you must read it. Perhaps all of them. Delhi school may not say B school, but it's still, very close to a B school in terms of what they study. As we go to the next one, hands on the buzzers. Two of them on 150 apiece. The others will have to score quickly and start scoring. Penultimate one in the first frontier. Which company is this? It's a famous campaign. It's got to be dash. A casual collection has been promoted with a huge amount of endorsement. Which popular brand in the footwear category in India is this? It's got to be dash. What's the missing brand name or company name? 5 seconds running away, no one taking a risk. On the Arsalan has gone for it just in the nick of time. Yes, Arsalan.
Relaxo.
Sorry?
Relaxo.
I need a louder, move your mic towards.
Relaxo. Relaxo.
We'll give you a minus 75. Well, the color is a big clue, the lady a bigger clue. If you've just gone past their outlets off late, it's all over the place. Well, a minus 75, but the answer I was looking for, the one and only Bata. It's got to be Bata. Is the new campaign. Pradunma's expression explains the angst. One remaining first frontier, early days, on your screen now. The nation's homeopath. Famous outlets. He's a popular man. Arsalan is going for it. He wants to negate the negative.
Dr. Batra.
Well played. Extremely well played. He played it fast and quick. It's always good when you're on the negatives to really erase it quickly. From I am Kashipur, he does that and does that super quickly. Well, ladies and gentlemen, early days, you're watching the northern interface of Tata Crucible for Campuses 2022. On the other side of this break, we'll show you where the contestants stand and take you through a surprise round that we've lined up during all our zonals for you with my young colleague, Rashmi Furtado. So on the other side of this break, the scores and Rashmi. Back in just a moment. Stay with us.
You gotta move it to the max. You gotta move it in the soul. You gotta move it, move it, move it to the max.
The new Nexon EV Max moves you to the max.
Early days in this battle, nothing much really emerging. Two of them going head to head. We'll take a look at all of that. But I've got one question for you. And we've got a lot of youngsters taking part. So this is reasonably easy. So if you can crack it wherever you're watching this, just type your answer into that chat box. If you're quick and fast, you stand to win a prize if you're correct from the Tatas. All right. I'm going to give you a line. Your answer is a brand. Your line is the best a man can get. I'll repeat that. The best a man can get. Which brand am I describing? Key in your answers. You're watching Tata Crucible.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rashmi Furtado and you are watching Tata Crucible Campus Quiz 2022. Early days to take a look at the bench board, but let's still do that. We're currently playing the third zonal playoffs of this quiz. Let's take a quick look at the bench board. As of now, Aditya and Pradunma are both leading this quiz with 150 points. Arsalan took a negative and then he negated that one by taking a positive, but rest of them are all on nil. I think at this point in time, it's very important for all of our contestants here today to take a look at the strategies that Aditya and Pradumna have been playing and probably implement them and also understand that it's very early in this quiz and they can still score and move forward in this when it comes to the bench board. Let's move on into the second round of this quiz. Share the shine. Here we go. Crucible this year is celebrating 75 years of Indian independence. And along with that, also celebrating women achievers of our country. This entire round is dedicated to the success of the women achievers of India. Contestants, remember your context, women achievers of our country, Indian or Indian origin. Remember that. Let's move on to the first question of this round coming up on your screen. Here we go. Who is she? All right, quick on the buzzer, Aditya there. Go ahead, Aditya.
She's Ghazal Alag, the founder of Mama Earth.
Plus 75 to you. He's absolutely right. Founder of Mama Earth, a huge brand today. If I'm not wrong, she's also been a part of Shark Tank, and that gives Aditya plus 75. Let's move on to the next question on your screen. Here we go. Identify this lady. All right, no one going on this one. I expected a quick buzz. 5 seconds running out here, ladies and gentlemen. Time is up. I expected a quick buzz on this one. She is Ela Bhatt, the founder of SEVA, the Self-Employed Women's Association. Self-employment in India itself has become huge today, with self-employment becoming a huge support for women in India for their financial independence. And she has been one of the pioneers in that area. Ela Bhatt, no one going on that one, no one taking a risk on that one. Let's move on to the last question of this round coming up on your screen. Here we go. Identify this famous leader. Oh, she's a chairperson of a very famous. All right, no one going on the buzzer again. 5 seconds of time running out. I expected someone to go on the buzzer quickly on this one as well. I guess the questions were a little too difficult for our, or maybe they just don't want to take the negatives. It's a zonal playoff, I understand that. The answer I was looking for, ladies and gentlemen, is Nisaba Godrej. Nisaba Godrej, I think she's also better known as Nisa, but her name is Nisaba Godrej. She's the chairperson of Godrej Consumer Products. She's a dynamic lady powering the future of the entire Godrej group out there. No one taking their chances on that one either. With this, ladies and gentlemen, we've concluded this round of Share the Shine. What we need to remember here is, while the digital edition of this quiz has seen a lot of girls taking part, what's also important to remember and also very encouraging is that we have had over 7 million viewers for this quiz on the internet. You heard me right, I said over 7 million viewers. I hope no one beats that record, or actually hope Tata Crucible beats that record next year. But ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to move into the next round of this quiz. May I please request Big Brain to come on and take it forward.
आजकल किसी के पास टाइम ही नहीं है जी। अब ऐसे में कोई आपकी दवाइयां बिल्कुल समय से घर डिलीवर करे, अच्छा तो लगेगा ना जी।
वाह जी,
भरोसेमंद है जी। It's 1 mg.
So, ladies and gentlemen, those then were some tough posers coming in from Rashmi. Everyone choosing either, like she said, to play safe and not take those risks. But too early in the day to not take those risks. You will still have to take some. Two of them still seem to be on a head-on-head battle. Like she said, Arsalan gaining and losing. I'm sure the others will get going as well. We've seen them score and score high before in the zonal round. So it's not that they can't or won't. But for the moment, well, like the name suggests, I think this is really what they need to do. Rely on your guts. Here it is. $75 remains the value, 5 seconds remains the time as we start with the first one on your screens now. Fruski is a new, Aditya's gone for it and very fast on the buzzer. Yes, Aditya.
This is a brand of fruit juices by the Tata Group, Tata Consumer Products.
Absolutely perfect. He got it bang on. I would have said which company. He completed his sentence by saying Tata Consumer Products. Gives him another 75. The young man from Jaipur. He is powering his way forward with some good strikes. As we go to the next one, overall answers what matters over the next couple of questions. So think lateral, think of what connects all of them before you hit the buzzer. On your screen, the first among them coming up now. All of this will lead you to an important group, Aditya, off in a flash.
This is the RP Sanjeev Goenka group.
The RP Sanjeev Goenka group. Go on, you're saying something else?
Yeah, so Lucknow Super Giants is a part of RPSG Ventures. They also own ATK Mohun Bagan, and that's the logo of RPSG group.
Aditya, putting no foot wrong today, he gets another 75. Absolutely solid answer. He just about knew everything that we put up on screen for him. On to the next one. Let's see who cracks this. Here it is. All commonly known brands. What connects them as an entity? Well, 5 seconds running away. Nobody on the buzzer on this one. Turns out to be a tough one, I think. Well, Odomos is such a popular brand. Sanifresh is so common in our washrooms, but no one going for that. All these are from the world of Dabur. Dabur is the answer, so turns out to be a tough one. As we go to the next one on screen, here it is. Bernal, Too Cool, Lemolate. Lemolate, of course, became popular during the pandemic. It comes with a mix of paracetamol, so people used to pop that. 5 seconds of time. Oh, well, we certainly have tougher questions in the playoffs. It's the nation's top 24 from the lakhs that take part. So you would expect tough questions, but North India really being put into a spot of bother by Rashmi and me. No one cracking this one either. The answer is Moorpen Laboratories. Dr. Moorpen is what I was looking for. And as we speak pharma, well, we've also been happy to have with us Tata 1mg, a very strong advocate of health, hygiene and wellness. And we truly appreciate their endorsement and support of Tata Crucible. As we go to the next one on your screens, here it is. What business are Ethos into? Arsalan.
Watches.
Little better than that. You're an IM grad. Come on.
Luxury watches.
Well played. Absolutely well played. They're a very specific category of luxury watches, but I still wouldn't have denied you your 75. So he gets onto a 75. He needs one more to get closer to IIT Kanpur, but Jaipur looking a little more for him in terms of multiple strikes. But all of that can happen as we go to the next one on your screens now. It's an important... Oh my God. I've hardly said anything. Aditya's off in a flash. Yes, Aditya?
This is the logo of Ather, the electric scooter startup.
This young lad is well prepared. You need to play out of your skin to cross him from LNM IIT. He really seems extremely well prepared. He's moving from 175 to another 75. He's reached, I think, either 375 or 450. Not sure on my mental math as we go to the next one on your screens now. He is an extremely important Aditya. Split second reaction.
He's the founder and CEO of PhonePe, the UPI application that we all use.
Another 75. Well. It looks like as if Chris Gale was suddenly brought into the Rajasthan Royals. Well, the young lad from Rajasthan is powering his way with one strike after the other. And we'll go on to the next one onto your screens now. This is Aditya. Well, oh man.
Dine Out. It was acquired by Swiggy recently.
Okay, you got to give me a little more than that.
Okay, this is the logo of Dine Out, which was recently acquired by Swiggy.
Okay, give it to you on that. He said everything that I required, so he'll get another 75 on that. It's not often that you get to see someone playing like this in a zonal final. Zonals are normally closer, tighter, tense. He seems to just be running away with it. He's in sublime form as we go to the final one in this frontier, after which we will take a look at who else is binging along with Aditya. He's certainly binging. Here's the last one in this segment on your screen now. These are two extremely important people. Saurabh's gone for it from ISB.
These are the Kamath brothers, Nikhil Kamath and Nitin Kamath.
And a little more than their names?
They are the founders of Zerodha.
Perfectly right. He's got that absolutely right. Zerodha is a Sanskrit word actually, and they've become one of the disruptors of industry in our country, and remarkable young guys, Nitin and Nikhil. 75 to Saurabh. It's going to be an important binge board to take a look at, but that's on the other side of this very quick break. Back in just a moment. Stay with us.
एक सजेशन दो जी.
क्या जी?
अपने टाटा प्ले के साथ बिंज ऐप ले लो जी.
क्यों जी?
आपके फेवरेट ओटीटी एप्स एक ऐप पे जी. मतलब नो अलग अलग पेमेंट, सिर्फ वन सब्सक्रिप्शन जी. और 12 एप्स के सारे कंटेंट इजी सर्च पे, मतलब नो ढूंढना, ओनली देखना जी.
मतलब टाइम ही टाइम जी.
थोड़ा हमारे लिए भी निकाल लेना जी.
अब टाटा प्ले के साथ लीजिए बिंज ऐप.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, one round remaining in this quiz, but I tell you what, it looks like Aditya has done a lot of work, but the second place is going to become an interesting battle. Before that, I've got a couple of audience questions for you. It's a typical Middle Eastern snack, as one would call it. It gets its name from a Sanskrit root word, which stands for pipali. Pipali actually means long pepper. What is this that I am describing, which is super popular in the Middle East? Key in your answers, and here's one more question for you, especially to all you school boys and girls who are now watching Crucible ahead of your time. Well, it's nice. This whole country watched the famous film 83. People like me relived moments. People like a lot of you got introduced to what happened then, because you're probably born well after 83. But the question to you is, it's actually a big tourist destination. People go even on a tour at this stadium. Which stadium did India play the 83 World Cup to lift that cup? The famous balcony where Kapil Dev carried the Prudential Cup, as it was called then. All you got to tell me is the name of the stadium. We'll be back, of course, with this battle. You're watching Tata Crucible. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're with me, Big Brain, here today watching the Northern Zonal Playoffs for Campus 2022 at Tata Crucible. Here's the binge board. One young man in an absolute hurry to get to the national final. Aditya from LNM IIT Jaipur is on 600. You don't get to see such scores often, but he is in absolutely riveting form. The second place is going to be very important, because it's not just the winner in a zonal. Yes, the winner moves into the final directly, but the second place, the person who comes in as runner-up, gets to play a wild card. And the best two among the four runners-up go into the national final. So between Pradyumna, Arsalan and Saurabh, they must be looking at that saying, okay, at some point in time, we may not be able to chase down Aditya, but let's get pragmatic and get to the wild card. I suspect, knowing the quality of the institutes we have here, pragmatism will prevail over probably, passion to just win. Because Aditya seems too good at 600, but anything can still happen. We've got an entire round to go. And, well, you can score as high as 900 in just one round. So it's possible that someone demolishes him in the last round, but that's theoretical. As we move to the final frontier of our game here today, it's time to go for glory. Here it is. On the final frontier, ladies and gentlemen, here too at the playoffs, like we did at the cluster rounds, we are indeed happy to be celebrating 75 years of Indian independence. Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, as we call it, here it is on your screen. It is a tribute to our nation, our 75 years of Indian independence. Through our own inimitable way, through our questions, we pay tribute to the great pioneers, the brands, the advertising campaigns, the products that shaped the business side, the industry side, the economic side of India. They've laid the foundations for the next 75, 150 plus years of this fantastic nation. Our small way to pay a tribute with these final 6 questions dedicated to India. So all questions are about India. One small twist to the tale. Nothing will appear on your screens. I will narrate stories. You will choose when to buzz. The moment you buzz, I'll stop reading the question. So if you are ready, the first among the 6 stories that I have lined up for you, if you're ready, hands on that buzzer. It's going to be crucial for the second place in my view. Pradunma will want 1 or 2. Arsalan will want to get 1 quickly. So would Saurabh. I don't know how Aditya is going to play it from here. He's on 600. Let's see what he does. The first one. I came into existence in the 1980s. But by about 2 or 3 years after my launch, I needed a relaunch because it was felt that I wasn't really catering to the people I had to cater to. The brand recognized that a woman's product to be successful needed a buyer, user and an influencer who needed to typically represent a young woman who always wished to remain youthful looking. That storyboard, Arsalan, which famous brand?
Amul.
Oh, minus 75, Arsalan. I was really leading you into a beautiful story of a woman wanting to look as youthful as ever, which would have led me to the beautiful advertising campaign for the Santur soap, where a young boy would look and ask, which college are you from? Fantastic ad campaign. So minus 75 to him, a little bit of a hurry there as we go to the next one. The year 1919, Chuni Lal Gulati, the place Sialkot, which is now Pakistan. Pradunma.
MDH.
Beautiful. Oh, he's got a high quality answer there from IIT Kanpur. He's got a powerful one. It gives him the distance that he requires from Saurabh now. He's moved on to 225 with 4 questions still remaining. And Saurabh will have to get all 4 to cross Pradunma. Here's the next one. Question number 3. What happens here? My name is VK Arora. I started a basmati rice processing unit in Sonepat in the 1980s. It was at a time when rice was treated as a commodity. However, I drew up a plan and at a point in time even brought in Amitabh Bachchan to endorse basmati rice. Today, this brand has grown to represent India in 50 countries. Aditya.
India Gate Basmati rice.
Aditya does not want a negative, he takes a negative. A minus 75 to him on that. Oh, he's just making the contest a lot more interesting by giving a negative. Dawat is the brand that I was looking for. Amitabh Bachchan endorsing basmati rice in India. Who would have imagined products would become brands like that? As we go to the next one, hands on the buzzer. On an invitation from the then Kerala Chief Minister to start business units in Kerala, this company started its journey there in 1972. The factory was soon up and running in Thrissur, Kerala. The corporate office, however, is far away at Gurgaon. By 1980s, they had made a name for themselves in the truck tire business and crossed a huge turnover. Today, they're pioneers in new technology in the tire business, with plants in places including countries like Hungary. Which tire giant? Gokul has gone for it from Delhi School. He's now making his first shot. Yes, Gokul?
Try Apollo tires.
Clever. Clever. Normally when you say tire and Kerala, people tend to think MRF. But I think he played that extremely well. He gets a 75. So he's with Saurabh on 75. 2 questions remaining. And, well, they'll have to get both right to really challenge Pradyumna. Pradyumna cannot really reach Aditya. So I think Aditya is safe and through into the national final. Let's see what happens, though, in the next 2 questions. Penultimate one. This city was specifically chosen as the location for the India Security Press. It's a division of the Security Printing and Minting Corporation of India, a public undertaking by the government of our country. The company is charged with the task of printing not just currency notes, but also, most importantly, passports, visas, postage stamps, etc. Which city in India, in the state of Maharashtra, was chosen? Given Pradyumna. Oh, he's taking a risk.
I'll guess Nasik. I'll guess Nasik. I heard Maharashtra. I'll guess Nasik.
He's taking a guess. Why would he do that? He's really in a position where he should not let go of 75. But if he gets 75, he's surely going to be the runner-up. Ladies and gentlemen, from IIT Kanpur, Pradyumna, plus 75. Oh, look at that joy. Sometimes IIT JEE does not put as much pressure as Tata Crucible does. Well, look at that relief on his face. He's like, man, I will still get to fight another day to make it to the national final. The final question of this fabulous quiz. 75 years of Indian independence. My last story in this playoff. I was just 21 years old. I was thrust into my family business. My father died. The family was manufacturing cooking oil and laundry soaps. My father was a noted businessman and called the Rice King of Burma. I realized my company had to diversify and technology was the way forward. Aditya wanting another 75.
Azim Premji of Wipro.
Oh, beautifully played. Beautifully played on that one. Azim Premji at the age of 21, on the sad demise of his father, was thrust into business. He took them away from vegetable oil and soaps into the world of technology. And today people remember Wipro more as a tech company than a consumer products company. Aditya really nailing that on the last one to finish on a clean score of 600, I think. But we will take a look at the binge board. Oh, just to clarify, Gokul and Saurabh playing really below their capabilities. Arsalan gaining and losing. All of them outstanding quizzers. Sonali not getting the buzzer going today. She was all on fire in her zonal round, but not her day today. Pradyumna played with a lot of maturity. He knew at some point, fine, Aditya has gone away with this one. I can't catch up with him. But he really took the initiative himself rather than waiting on a comfortable score. Nasik seeking him or securing him that position in the playoff wildcards. But ladies and gentlemen, with absolute authority, enormous amount of clarity and confidence, literally powering his way into the national final here today from LNM IIT Jaipur with 600, it's Aditya who's our third finalist. Congratulations, Aditya. And ladies and gentlemen, at this point in time, it is indeed my pleasure and privilege to introduce to you our guest of honor. With over 2 decades of experience, she's one of the young leaders in the Tata fraternity who has been part of the Crucible journey and in shaping brands and products from the company she represents. While she's not at work, she loves traveling, often off the beaten path. She's a voracious reader, a great observer of human behavior, which she likes doing. Of course, she's been a very passionate follower of innovation and always believes that restlessness is part of her way of moving forward. Currently, she's at the helm nurturing Mia from Tanishq, which is targeted at the self-expressive woman of today. Well, Rashmi certainly has been happy with all of Mia with her, and they have supported her with her grooming, and that is something we've truly appreciated in this association at Tata Crucible. But at this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, our guest of honor, a young leader from the Tata fraternity joining us here today, Ms. Shamala Ramanan. Shamala, if you could join us. Thank you so much. Truly appreciate your presence. First up, sorry to have bothered you on a Sunday. We apologize for that. But then all these guys have exams still going on in odd schedules, so the weekends are better. But truly appreciate your presence and, of course, your support for Crucible. But I'll start with a different question. The last couple of years have really been a learning experience, irrespective of how many years of corporate experience we've had. And for these youngsters, they're going to enter a world with different corporate expectations very soon. What's your advice to them?
Okay, on the onset, heartiest congratulations, Aditya. Super performance today. And I think everyone else, I'm sure you did your best, but today it just happens to be one of those days where things don't go the way you expect it to. So, Giri, to answer your question, this is exactly what I think corporate India today is. Like, there are days when it is good, there are days when it is not so good, but that doesn't mean that you stop and don't pursue what you're supposed to be doing. And I think what the pandemic has actually done in the last couple of years is made us introspect on how it is that we want our work life to be, So I think work-life balance is something which is a new mantra. And I think all of us have emerged from it with this whole notion that there is one life to live and it must be lived holistically. Having said that, I think there is no end to actually gaining knowledge. There is always the need to have this curiosity because that is what sparks you as you go along. And your goal must be very clear, but I think you must pause to enjoy the journey you are in. And I think that itself is what I would leave with as what the youngsters should be expecting when they enter corporate India, because certain things will be the traditional way, but there are a lot of new things that the pandemic has brought in, which is the new way of work, the new way of managing, the new way of collaborative working. It is no more competition with others. As long as you're a better version of yourself every morning when you wake up, I think that's what matters. So yeah, to me, that's it.
So well said. I think that's really, really well said. Well, life in the corporate world is like a Tata Crucible, as she puts it. There are those days when it goes your way. There are those days when it does not. Beautifully put, but you have to be a better version of yourself every morning. Well, ladies and gentlemen, for now, let's do the digital congratulations. There's no prize money in this round because it's a qualifier round. And going into the wild cards as our third qualifier, into the wild card will be Pradunma. And he goes in there knowing that Aditya really went all guns blazing today in this zonal round. But congratulations, Pradunma, as he now makes it into the top 12 of the country and will hope to be in the top 10 of the country and will hope to be in the top 6. But ladies and gentlemen, our champion here today at the zonal final from the northern terrain, invincible. It's been Aditya from LNM IIT Jaipur. Congratulations, Aditya. Truly well played. And, well, he joins two other IITians in the final, one from Bombay, one from Chennai. So that's IIT Madras and SJM Som from Bombay. And that will be our third name, LNM IIT from Jaipur. Congratulations to you. Let me go back to our guest. Shamla, if you have a word of advice for our two champions as they still continue their battle before we let you go.
Be calm and carry on.
So well said. I think that's...
All the very best. All the very best. I'll be rooting for you because I have been part of this journey with you. So you can expect me to root for you as you head for the finals. All the very best.
Thank you so much for being...
And for the rest, better luck next time. I'm sure you all had a fantastic round to reach here. Giri was mentioning how you were trailblazers in the rounds that it brought you here. But it's okay. Every day there is a winner and the rest just have to, take it in their stride. So, yeah.
So true. All 6 of them were champions. They did amazingly well in the cluster rounds. And digital has made it so much more complicated. I mean, participation has just become 4x, 5x. And, it's so complex to just qualify. So truly appreciate your presence, lovely words, and your bringing Crucible to life, especially with Rashmi. Thank you so much for that. We've thoroughly appreciated that and look forward to seeing you in our future editions. Thanks, Shamla. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. All the best.
So, ladies and gentlemen, time for us to thank Shamla. Their very profound words of advice for these youngsters and to all of you watching from her. But ladies and gentlemen, what does this leave us with after the third playoff? We've got Aditya going into the national final. We've got Pradyumna, who will fight another day. He's got a 2 out of 4 chance, so he's a good quizzer. He will still back himself, in my opinion, to try and make it to the big final. He's up against 2 difficult contenders. He's got one from IIM Ahmedabad I think he's got someone from IIM Indore who's there, who he will contend with, and a doctor from Hyderabad. So he's got 2 of them waiting for him in the wildcard rounds, while Aditya will move into the final and wait to see the outcome of the wildcards on who are the other 2 who will join them. But for all of you, ladies and gentlemen, Rashmi and me will be back with you with the Eastern playoff. That's another terrain in India where quizzing is always good, irrespective of what the subject you're quizzing on. The East is so passionate about quizzing. It really defines passion for knowledge in our country in amazing ways. So we will be back with you with the zonal playoff for 2022, the Eastern interface. Till then, from Rashmi, from me, Big Brain, thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.